Hello and happy gaming, everybody. My name is Dark Sage Walker, and I want to start by apologizing for not uploading anything yesterday. Yesterday was one of those very busy, kind of difficult to describe days that starts with you waking up and brushing your teeth and ends with you going, "Oh my God, I just want to lay down and fall asleep forever." So that's basically what I did. So I apologize to everyone. I will attempt to make it up to you by posting a second Wizard of Legend video either today or tomorrow. Basically, I'm gonna work to play catch up. So I apologize to everyone, but let's not get too caught up with that. Let's just go ahead and get into today's run, which is going to be the theme run for Farfetch'd. He is or I guess it, since gender is kind of iffy when it comes to a Pokemon, and when I say iffy, I mean it could be either one. It's not set in stone. Again, there are provisos to that, but with Farfetch'd, it could be either one, so we'll just split the difference and say it. It won the theme run poll, so thank you guys very much for voting in that. For context, I am basing this off of just the base Farfetch'd. I know that there's a Galarian Farfetch'd, which looks a bit like a samurai, which is odd since the Galar region is meant to look like, like Wales or England. But there you go. I also know that there is an evolution called Surfetch'd, but that's not what I was basing this off of, because that's more of a knight with a lance, not really a swordsman. So, hi birds. I know, guys. You probably haven't heard me up and about. Either your first time hearing me up. I haven't taken the blankets off their cages yet, so they're both confused and maybe a little annoyed with me. So, let's go over the build. So, I wasn't sure which robe to use because looking over Farfetch'd base stats, they are. So nothing really stood out aside from its speed stat, and even its speed stat isn't great. So I figured that I would just go with the shift robe, as that makes the most sense for a close combat swordsman. As far as its moves, Razor Burst seems like just a good control move, a decent dash, and it represents moves kind of like Aerial Ace, so to speak. Bladed Vine is very much representative of Farfetch'd's Onion Sword. Again, your mileage may vary as to whether or not you actually find it to be a sword. Hold on. Delicious. And this represents moves like Leaf Blade. Airborne Slam is a nice, powerful move that I can use to get in close to opponents. It's strong, it's evasive, it's reliable, and it represents moves like Brave Bird. And lastly, we've got Shock Assault, which is, again, for me, it provides a little bit of elemental coverage. It's got some invulnerability to it, which I'm really looking forward to abusing. And in the eyes of the theme run, it represents the move Close Combat. So, now that we've gone over all of that, let's have a look at what would be the best place to start. And I think I would like to start at the Sky Palace. No Thundering Keep. No, especially not Living Courtyards. Okay, it's not important. Here we go, Sky Palace. Did I say Sky Palace or Sky Keep earlier? I might have messed that up. Alright, so we've got ourselves set. This isn't too horrible, but I do have issues with the electric and wind summoners. But I think I can deal with that. Now you think you're hot because of your Combo! And that's what you call an ultra combo. So, as you can see with this particular build, I'm using Airborne Slam as essentially a lead-in for other things. Also, I'm curious, for anyone who's played it, is the, I guess, new Killer... It's not new anymore, but I mean, it's not Killer Instinct or Killer Instinct 2, so is the Killer Instinct sequel / like the newer one, is that game any good? Because I have not played it, and I've been kind of looking forward to playing a Killer Instinct game for a while. Now, I did not agree with the original business decision that Microsoft and Rare put into practice, where the base game... Hello, I'll take that. Where the base game was essentially free, but you had to pay for every character you wanted to use. Like, I had major issues with that, and I don't know if that changed when they decided just to put it on Steam and just plain old sell it. So I guess what I'm curious about is the game actually worth playing? I mean, it looks pretty good. Not gonna lie about that. I'm not the same fighting game aficionado that I used to be, but that doesn't mean that I don't like fighting games. It just means that I don't feel the need to play every single fighting game that ever gets released. I'm not that person anymore. What do we have here? Well, I mean, Vampire's Eyeglasses are on sale, and I would be an idiot not to take advantage of that when I'm working with a critical hit build, so yeah. I saw you prepping a spell. I saw you about to go Hulk Smash. Don't think I don't see these things. I know, Riku, I know. So the reason why the big hit point boost there is because Sturdy Shoebox gives you greater max HP based on the number of movement arcana you have, and I believe outside of my dash, both Shock Assault and Airborne Slam count as movement arcana. There we go. Alright, so this is a great first floor. I'm not gonna lie, this is just fantastic. And you know, I wouldn't have minded taking... Oh wow, I suck. There we go. I wouldn't have minded taking Surefire Rocket, but, you know, money issues. I mean, we all have them, and I guess a Wizard of Legend is no exception. So, question: if I only took 15 damage, why am I down to 400? Why am I down under 400 health after healing? Is there a good? Oh wait, duh. Never mind, I'm a moron. And I will definitely be back for the Razor Burst upgrade. Oops. I keep forgetting that when I'm using this controller, I have to be very specific. Oops. That's right, no Chaotic Rift. You silly bastards. Just because you made it through the barrels doesn't mean you had me even for an instant. Ha! Pa! There we go. So I find it strange that even when Farfetch'd was first introduced way back in Gen 1 of Pokemon, even then, take that, Razor Burst, yeah, my name is just Razor Burst now. I know it doesn't make sense, but just go along with it, okay guys? But even then, when he was very first introduced, he was both introduced and made nearly irrelevant in the same game. Like, his base stats were nothing to write home about. He wasn't particularly speedy. He was another one of the overused flying normal types. So as you can guess, he wasn't exactly what one would call, you know, special in that regard. As flying normal was a dime a dozen. I mean, I think there were at least 6, 7, 8. There were, just off the top of my head, I can think of 8 other flying normal types that were in the same game. And just to prove my point, Pidgey, Pidgeotto, Pidgeot, Spearow, Fearow, Doduo, Dodrio. That's 7. For some reason I thought that Spearow had a second evolution, but it doesn't. It has 1 evolution. But I mean, to be fair, the flying normal train doesn't exactly stop there, because in Gen 2 they had Hoot and Noctowl, which were both flying normal, which I think they should have done something else. What I'm getting at is that even if I can't think of any more flying normals that were in the same game, there were still more than enough of them to give you a much better selection, and because of the anime, people were drawn towards Pidgey, Pidgeotto, and Pidgeot, and since especially Pidgeot had way better stats and a more interesting move pool, then I'll take that. Vicious bunny ears, yeah! Oh, soccer cleats! Oh, that would have been way better. Maybe I'll be able to pick that up too. It's unlikely though. God, I should have been paying attention. Dumb. And it's not like I'm hurting for damage or anything, but I mean, just soccer cleats would have had a much more profound impact on my run. I didn't think about it. I just went and just quick grabbed the first thing I saw because, hey, that'll make Airborne Slam better. Yeah, thing is, soccer cleats would also make, you know, Razor Burst and Shock Assault better. Yeah. It's not like I'm trying to play like a speedrunner either, so I don't know why I was in such a hurry. Beautifully done. Augur of Poetry? I mean, that's useless, so I'm going to bring it back to you. Does that bring me within range for the soccer cleats? Because that would... Oh, thank goodness. Okay, now we're cooking with gas. Yes, that's beautiful. Alright. So, basically what Farfetch'd was just a means to an end. It was just the one that you collected because you needed to fill out your Pokédex. It was not one that you used even remotely competitively in... Hello, Evade Chance. Oh, I'm dumb. like, even back then, you never used Farfetch'd even remotely competitively. Though in Gen 1, if you wanted to be competitive, all you had to do was use Psychic types, because they were basically uncontested. God damn, the evade chances are piling up, baby. Okay, that's very nice of you, controller. Like, that time I do blame the controller. I knew exactly what I was doing, and the sensitive nature to gust volley. Yeah, I think I can use that as either as a whirlwind proxy. Or maybe Twister would be the better thing to say. Or maybe you guys should get away from me and stop cheap-shotting me. Thanks, game. See, after that immaculate Sky Palace run, now the game is just trying to embarrass me. And of course, because I'm notoriously bad at following my cooldown rates. Stupid exploding barrels. Okay, everything is going downhill now. I'm not happy about it. Alright, I definitely want this. And would you consider Blazing Lariat like a sword? I'm not sure I would. I've always viewed it as a whip. I would say the same thing about Bladed Vine, but you know what? The word bladed is right there in the name of the Arcana, so I'm just rolling with it. It is, for all intents and purposes, a blade. It's like having a sword whip. Like, if I ever do a theme run for Isabella Valentine, that would be my go-to basic. Be that, be Blazing Lariat, and whatever else simulates having huge boobs. I kid, of course. I'm aware that Ivy is more than just her cup size, but, you know, hopefully we all got a laugh out of that and we can move on. Whoops. I gotta admit, I'm not getting a whole lot out of Gust Volley here. It's not even like a particularly good ranged option. So, I don't know, Versus... Alright, hold on, I haven't found the boss room yet. Damn! Ah, curse you! So, real quick, for anyone who actually played Sword and Shield and has used Farfetch'd, what is Farfetch'd like? Because I get the feeling that what we're looking at, that's not really a Farfetch'd move, I can't take that, much as I'd like to. Plus, it doesn't work very well with Dark Katana. There we go. Oh, no. I want the Bladed Vine upgrade. But for those of you who have actually played it, is Farfetch'd-like, because I'm... Oh, perfect. Perfect. That is definitely a swordsman move. I mean, you're actually taking a sword and slashing it. Exactly, it's a swordsman move. That is absolute perfection. Thank you, Taffy. And I would gladly take Roxel's Pendulum if I could afford it. Which I'll be able to after the boss, so hey, no harm, no foul. And mostly I want to take it because it'll give me a little bit of peace of mind when it comes to cooldowns, because as I'm sure you've noticed, I am notoriously bad about following whether or not my moves are on cooldown or not. A little close combat going on up in here. And slash. Very good. Too early in the run for me to take that. Like, I really feel as though that would hinder me a little too much. There we go. Alright, looking good. So now about the only thing I would take from Iris's shop. Would be something to replace Gust Volley with, and even then it has to comply with what I think. Ow, ow. Why? And there aren't a whole lot of things that I think would really comply with a Farfetch'd run. More like, I don't know, it'll just depend on what's there. And it's not like I don't think Farfetch'd has any ranged moves that can help supplement a run like this. What I'm more so thinking is that I'm just not sure that that I'm going to find anything, but we will find out. Yeah, get on those spikes. Farfetch'd. Weakness. Do you guys think I was just going to try to walk away? That works. One of the reasons why I like having moves with a nice wide hit arc is... Yay, I suck! Wait, what? So I went to use the sword, and even though I should have been able to hit him effectively through that little flame barrier of his, he, like, teleported on top of me the moment I hit him. Like, what kind of garbage was that? Perfect. Alright. Now things are starting to look a little bit better. Now, I was starting to say something here. I'm a little late for that now, isn't it? I might take Hummingbird Feather, but ultimately I'm not the biggest fan of it. Permafrost Cube I could actually work with. And yeah, I think I will, because I like Permafrost Cube. Boop! Funny how cooldown came off on Crystalline Balestra right in time for it to be like, hey, this is an ice move, try that! Come on. Alright. No. I mean, that's a possibility. If this were a Farfetch'd run, I would use Earthen Aegis. But it brings me back to what I was saying about Farfetch'd. What is he like? I guess I should say, what is it like? Well, no, because its name is Farfetch'd. I have to imagine that even if it could be female, with the name Sir, how many people would actually want it to be female? Mostly because it just invokes the thought of, you know, the like old Knights of the Round and whatnot. Which there's nothing saying it can't be. Only bringing it up because it just sounds like that's what you'd be going for. No, there's nothing I want here. Oh, pardon me. This is a very vertical level. Ha! With a single stroke, I have vanquished my foe. There's nothing I want. I've already upgraded my basics, so Claws of Toma was kind of out. Perfect. Oh, you are you? I mean, to be fair, she's bringing the heat in a very literal sense of the word. It's literally very high temperatures that she's flinging about. And there we go. Perfect. Cheers, mate. And onwards. Can't justify Aqua Vortex with Farfetch'd. So I keep getting distracted trying to talk about Farfetch'd. So here's my thought. Farfetch'd to me seems like you probably have slightly more, like most evolutions have more HP, Shedinja being an exception to that. Here we go. So I imagine that Farfetch'd defenses are greater. I imagine probably its physical attack stat is greater. Its special attack stat probably doesn't see much of a boost at all. I see treasure over there, and I want it. Because I make absolutely no qualms about whether or not I'm a greedy bastard. At least when it comes to video games. There we go. Looking good! Ow. Alright, this is a very effective run. I'm really enjoying this. I think what makes a huge part of this run, if you haven't been able to tell, is Airborne Slam, because normally when you run a melee build with entirely melee moves and nothing to really help close the distance, you would end up having issues, but Airborne Slam is actually helping me out by giving me a means by which to get in. And it's really helpful. Hello, Netra. I am all for having a fairy at my side, as you well know. So, I don't have a lot of things that would probably set me apart from a lot of Whispered Legend runners aside from aside from some of my Arcana preferences. But I think that would be one thing that that will always set me apart, is that I'm always willing to take one of the fairies. Like, even if they're not necessarily the most useful things around, and even I find that to be a bit debatable, I like having the fairies, but that will always define me as a Wizard of Legend player, is that I will generally go out of my way to grab one of the fairies and have them follow me to adventure! Get out of here. And I have a shock assault charge. Well, you know I'm gonna take this. Like, that's not even a question. I'm running a critical hit build, and running without Crimson Clover is like, you know, doing strength training and not even bothering to lift up a dumbbell. Okay, so Flame Cleaver actually is something that I think Farfetch'd could use, and I'm thinking it might be more useful than Gust Volley, so we're just going to go ahead and make the switch. There you go, it's just a big blade of flame. I would honestly say it's an Arcana I don't use very often, but do I think you're going to go wrong using it? Not really. Plus, it's got a nice wide hit arc, and plus it's multi-use, so it's real easy to get uses out of it. Use the invulnerability to go through the fireball, and then it just hits me when I stop. Not even right. Materializing runes. So, my own... I should probably get myself tested for ADD. How many times have I tried to talk about Farfetch'd and my brain just completely went, nah, it'll be fine. So, higher attack, higher defense, of course higher HP. Special defense may be a slight boost, if any change. Special attack, no change. Speed, I'm actually imagining, is lower than its counterpart. As far as typing, I mean, you're talking about an armored creature, so what is it, flying steel, or is it the rare example of a bird that actually isn't flying type? Because I imagine it could be... You have some input, Riku? Oh, I'm dumb. I should have just done that, instead of getting punched in the face by a golem. So Air Spinner, I guess, is another possibility for a basic, but I didn't want to ignore the Onion Sword. Frost Fan was also a maybe, because that would be the idea of, like, throwing daggers, which is something that a lot of swordsmen do. Not all swordsmen, of course. Okay, she really wants my attention. Oh, they can also hear the birds outside, too, so, you know, that's also a thing. Alright, Flame Cleaver's actually getting some work done. I'm impressed. As far as what moves he could use, I imagine it's a lot of the same moves with maybe like a couple of extras, like I'm imagining Poison Jab would be one of them. really don't know what they're planning on, what the idea was behind the Farfetch'd design. And obviously, as a bird knight, I get that. You can take your critical hits and go to bed, sir. Okay, controller, that was not cool. Why'd you make me attack diagonally when I clearly wanted to attack straight? Ow. So I will say that I think that Gust Volley is capable of more damage, especially when you like shotgun its effect. But, and I will take this. Prevent shock status effect. It's going to be useful for what, like one room at this point? And we'll take the Skull Thief Socks. Beautifully done. So I'm getting more damage out of Gust Volley, that's for sure, but I think Flame Cleaver is more reliable. Plus, I think it fits the theme of the run a little bit better, so just sticking with it. And sometimes a part of what makes a run interesting for you is whether or not the spells you have are even fun to use. Ow. Oh, I missed. Well, mostly because he was in a state of invulnerability. Owie. Oh, I'm dumb. Okay, made a couple of mistakes there, but still won the fight. Nah, no thanks, I don't want that. So all in all, this has been quite a fun run. It's given me a chance to showcase why I like some of the jump slash airborne arcana, and they can be a very effective stand-in for actually having a good ranged arcana, because they still strike from a distance while being melee, so they still work with things like Dark Katana and whatnot, so you're not missing out on anything. And simultaneously, they just tend to do a lot of damage. Like, I've gotten a lot of use out of moves like Smooth. I guess I thought I landed below it, but I hadn't, so oopsie. Fiery Paintbrush is knocking it out of the park right now. Alright, I guess we're just going full Farfetch'd now. We've got a shield, we've got a big sword. I mean, I guess by the end of this run, we ended up evolving into Farfetch'd, so hey, congratulations. Owie. I have made mistakes! There we go. Oh, hey, thanks. Thank you, Atra. The other thing about Jump Arcana that's really nice is that they do offer a moment of invulnerability, which, especially in a fast-paced game like this, is real nice. Admittedly, I got a little greedy there, but... Ow. Yeah, we'll just end the fight here. Alright, so some mistakes were made, kind of got beat up a little bit, but it's alright, we still won. Much like a Pokemon match, you're not getting out of it without taking some damage. So, there you go. That is Farfetch'd, and I would say that the odds of victory there were definitely far from far-fetched. I'm sorry. I mean, is that why they named him Farfetch'd? Because he was just kind of a garbage Pokemon to begin with? Even though the theming behind Farfetch'd is great. Enough so that years after I've stopped playing Pokemon, and no, it's not because I hate Pokemon, I don't. I just don't have time to really sink the competitive resources into the game the way I would want to play it. But yeah, years after I stopped playing Pokemon, I still remember Farfetch'd pretty fondly. I don't know, we all have that Pokemon that even though it wasn't necessarily, like, super, super powerful, we all really like it, and I think for most of us it's not Pikachu. Yeah, stick that in your pipe and smoke it, marketing team. But anyway, thank you guys very much for watching. I definitely appreciate all of the support that I've been getting. Do the usual like, comment, subscribe dance. Hit me up on social media, and... yeah, by the way, for those of you who don't know, links to the social media that I use are always going to be in the description. So that will always be there for you guys to check out, and I will catch you guys in a future video. My name is Dark Sage Walker, and I will be seeing you